by Holland and the one by Argentina were very unpretentious images of our Nigeria. Because I still have those things. So the question I ask is, why are our designers, and we have done well in fashion, why are they not the one designing what the super eagles wear? Why can't there be a competition for that? And then we celebrate some funny looking colors that don't even look like green. But that's a debate again for another day. Why are we not insisting that when we are going to play international events and sports events, our people are not wearing a Nigerian brand? What's so difficult about that? So, and I said all of the economics we will talk about at another event, but I can't help myself really. So I'm sorry. But so when Big Shed, as Chief Odegbami is fondly called, floated the idea of Nigeria hosting the World Cup many years ago, many dismissed him as daydreaming. But not enough know his mind, and fewer know his mindset, and even more fewer know his state of mind. A dream it may be, but dreams are the foundations of many realities. We can fly today because some people dreamt. Our nation must be thankful for this big idea. We must recognize its potentials and see beyond the messenger. The message is deep, and only the deep can hear it. International sports and entertainment is not just big business and just for young people. It is the new global power with which to influence and shape not only global policies, but the global economy. That is the stage where national anthems are rendered with national flags and colors, displayed to the pride and admiration of patrons and perhaps the envy of competitors. So that sums up my feeling when I did see a flag flying in the last few days. A bid to host the World Cup by Nigeria alone, and some will think again I'm crazy, or along with other West African nations, must be led by Nigeria. The challenges of launching a successful bid are enormous, but they are nothing compared to the actual hosting. The undertaking itself, whether successful or not, and you can bid and not succeed. But I believe that the undertaking itself, without the assurance of the result, will challenge our organizational planning and execution capacity as a people and as a nation. And those experiences will stay with us forever. The point I'm making is that we lose nothing by trying. Absolutely not. Either way, as I said, we cannot lose. We can only get better. The world will not lower the standards for any nation. Rather, they will challenge and they will support every bidding nation to meet the standards. I vote for Nigeria to venture and to lead the bid for a major global sporting event. So thank you very much for your attention and your attention.
Those who know the last speaker will expect nothing less but that kind of passionate presentation and narration. He talked about dreams, big ideas, passion and action. He talked about the NI. This is where great ideas are incubated and given life. Distinguished. There's another dreamer upstairs. If you could silence that voice for this other dream to take place.
problem on it.
Thank you very much.
Sure, this I'm not happy. I'm not saying let's
Thank you very much. I was on the verge of calling for another round of applause for His Excellency when that dream now came on. Thank you, sir. I think it's in order to say one or two things about His Excellency before we move forward. Ordinarily, most people know him as a lawyer, but as you can see, he is very comfortable among economists, among engineers, among diplomats, among experts and captains of the hospitality industry, and many more. I, for one, the first time I met Your Excellency, he was wearing a pair of shorts. Yes, short knickers, we call them. And he was actually supervising a project around 7 p.m. So Your Excellency, actually some people want you more on the sideline than you think, than you know, sir. And that is the kind of passion we need for those who will drive our infrastructural development in West Africa in pursuance of this big dream. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies here present. While His Excellency was delivering his speech, the Honorary Council of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Colonel and Colonel Mrs. Rotimi Vaughn came in. Please, a round of applause for them. Thank you, you are most welcome. At this point, I'd like to call on the next speaker for his presentation, Otumbawanle Akinpoboye. He is sharing his thoughts with us on tourism potentials along the slave sites and routes in West Africa in 2034. Sir.
Thank you. I'm going to have no choice but to stand on existing protocol because I have just 15 minutes. You know, I need to make one quick clarity about tourism. I think we just really don't know the meaning of it. I think we need to basically ask ourselves what tourism is, what the essence of it. Tourism is a movement quickly of people from point A to point B for different activities. When they travel for sports, they are referred to as sports tourists. When they travel for religious reasons, they are referred to as religious tourists. When they travel internationally for a conference, they are referred to as international business tourists. When you go from Ondo to Lagos, to Redeemed Church, for prayers, you are a domestic religious tourist. So we are the master. Tourism is number one. It's the reason why people move from point A to point B. When they travel for entertainment, they are referred to as entertainment tourists. Let me quickly borrow from our forefathers, because I'm going to go straight to my short lecture, recognizing the Honorable Minister and the Deputy by adopting a very clinical and touristic medium that our forefathers could use when they want to drive home a point. They use a medium weaved around a particular story so that we can all listen attentively. I remember when I was growing up as a young man, I thought Ijapa, the tortoise, was human. I thought he didn't talk. I remember my disappointment when I met him, or met him. I don't know what I should refer to. For the first time. Because Ijapa is an animal. But our forefathers had a story around him. If you can remove the echo, please. Thank you. So I'm going to start this story. One elderly village Baale, as they're called, was sitting on the beach. Lagos have a total of 200 approximately kilometers of beachfront. Nigeria has 853 kilometers of coastline. So one of the villages, the Baale sat with his 4 wives and children playing with his palm wine, fully relaxed and enjoying himself. Then this European came and said to him, "Sir, I'd like to develop your land for you because of what Chief Chef Wondebami is thinking. I'd like to develop this beach so that you can make millions." And he said, "Sir, you make up to $10 million a year." He said, "Great. So palm wine and enjoy yourself." And he looked at the European. He said, "Are you serious? What am I doing now? Without the $40 million you're talking about, I'm relaxed. I'm enjoying myself." So that I started and said to him that I have come again. The man said, "Oh, welcome, Mr. Resort Builder. How can I help you this time?" He said, "Do you realize that if you build this resort, someday a Chief Sheikh Wondebami will decide to host the World Cup in 2034. The man said, "All right, go ahead. And what happens when you host the World Cup?" He said, "You will have tremendous opportunity to develop your land. That people will come from different parts of the world to visit. They will come." He says 65% of all new businesses in South Africa happened after the hosting of the World Cup in South Africa. He said, "If you host this one, you solve a lot of problems for humanity. You build infrastructure for not only today, but for tomorrow." And when I say infrastructure, I'm not talking about buildings. I'm not talking about the stadium. I'm talking about human infrastructure in particular. Because your people will be exposed to the world. They will be developed in their minds, in their soul, in their abilities. That was 1876. He dreamt into Airtel, MTN, creating billions of opportunities throughout the continent of Africa. He said, if you build this resort, your entire people will have jobs. They will have the first of refusal for all kinds of jobs. The man sat up and said, tell me more. This is beginning to be interesting. He said, you realize that if you build this, you'll have the ability to compete with anyone in the world. The problems with kidnapping, the problem with security will disappear. We will make sure that this environment is declared a tourism zone. And when we declare it as a tourism zone, we will make sure that everybody around here is good. Said, sir, if you build this resort, thank you. You will translate all your wealth into legacy. Legacy that will outlive you and generations yet. Let me remind you that your Ikoyi Club in Lagos was built in 1837. 1938. Am I right? 1938. Ikoyi Club was built in 1938. And it's still alive today as one of the best clubs in Nigeria. I mean, because as people come to recreate, as they come to spend the night with you, they will get to see the beauty of this environment, and they will invest in your village, in your environment, and it will lead to a major growth and development, not only for the people in your village or in your country. We have 30.2 million square kilometers of area in Africa. He said to him that you have, where you are is Nigeria, which is a total of 923,765 approximate square kilometers of area. He said, if you will happen. Now, that gives us the reason why we have a challenge. Because if it has not occurred to us that it's possible for us to do it, we will not do it. Qatar has a total population of about 11.5 million people. They have approximately a maximum 60,000 square kilometers of area coastline. When we, in Nigeria alone, have a total of just Nigeria, we're not talking West Africa now, we have a total of 853,000 square kilometers of area. The entire West African region have 427 million people. Qatar has a total of just about 3 million people. Dubai, with their 3 million people, 60,000 square kilometers of area, generates about 15.9 million visitors on an annual basis. If you see the possibilities, you will then understand that they should be begging us as West Africa. Because as West Africa, we have the population. And Nigeria should be the flagship. Why? Because out of the 427 million people in West Africa, Nigeria is almost half, 200 million plus people. I believe very strongly that as we begin this process today of growth and development, we must remember that in life we must aspire. We should expect to aspire when we acquire, and we must understand that when we acquire, we will eventually aspire and leave behind all the things that we have acquired. I believe that what we must focus on as a people is understanding that the platform we are standing on today was built by yesterday men. The platform for tomorrow's people must be built by us, today's men. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for Okuka. I have had cause to mention severally that in these chambers you will hear of dreams and big dreams at that. May I respectfully inform that subsequent presenters may wish not to take the trouble of coming all the way, and you may make your presentation from where you are sitting. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies here present. I'd like to invite the third presenter, Naolu Akintobi. He'll be sharing his thoughts with us on the future of entertainment in West Africa in 2034. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, Mr. Akintobi.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I cannot understand hearing protocol, so I would please ask that you allow me to do exactly what Excellency to stand to speak
Camera one be now. Camera one be now. Thank you.
Well, I would like to tell a short story quickly. I'll make it short and short. The music industry is a serious important part of the entertainment industry. I've gone through difficulties, and you will find that in Nigeria, as popular as music and musicians are, the music industry itself, maybe generally the entertainment industry, is hardly in the focus of powers that be in this country. And that is not the fault of any particular government. It's been happening over and over again. But this time around, as you can see, we have forced ourselves into the domain. Because you are now all dancing to Buga, are you not? Yeah, you are dancing to Buga, you are dancing to Whiskey, you are dancing to Davido, all of them. But that has happened as a result of hard work, tenacity, insistence,
and some stroke of luck, if you like. So please bear this in mind, and I'm happy the governor, the deputy governor is here, and I also am so happy to have had former governor, Raji Fashola, is giving us hope. In all of his speech, gave us hope, gave me hope that sometime, somewhere in this country, entertainment, music, films, culture, whatever it is, will take the front seat, and all of us will be the beneficiaries. Thank you very much. So I'll go straight into, I want to first thank Nigeria board and Sheikh Madega for giving us the opportunity to share this platform. I'm an addict of football, I am an addict. I don't play as you do, but I follow and analyze so much you won't believe it. And I thank you very much that you have kept this dream alive. World Cup will come to West Africa, Nigeria will lead it by the grace of God, and we all shall benefit from it. Thank you very much. Entertainment in Nigeria, in West Africa, the future of entertainment in West Africa in 2034. That's the year where we are hoping that World Cup will come to us and we'll be able to come. But I will not bother to go into the history of entertainment, its roots and anything, because that will take a lot of time. But bear in mind that, entertainment took center stage way before the times that I want to talk about. The 60s, the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. 70s is the period where I came into it seriously. I was a member of a very important, very popular group in Nigeria called BLO. And thereafter, I have produced so many wonderful Nigerian artists. So without ignoring the early years of entertainment development in Nigeria, 50s, 60s, and 70s, I will, for the purpose of this program and time, leave out the boring, the long history, and instead focus on the industry's rapid and positive turnaround, starting from the late 1980s into the beginning of the 90s. It was at that time many of us witnessed the entry of the music ideas, new music ideas, which turned our music industry into a huge hit factory when the likes of Sashino Peters, late Majek Fashek, Alex Okurudwe, popularly known as Alex O, Adewale Ayuba, Oyega Onwenu, late Chris Yesen Igboke, Michael Brian, several others, but took Nigeria and West Africa by storm with original songs made in Nigeria, produced in Nigeria by Nigerian artists, financed by Nigerian-based music companies like Aphrodisia, Ivory Music, and Tabansi Records, and many more. Since the breakthroughs of the 90s, the 80s and 90s, the music sector continued to churn out new generation artists and talents to pick up the baton and continue where others started. New technology, however, have helped us out of what seemed to be a huge problem: piracy, counterfeiting, stealing of intellectual property, and so many other problems. The new technology has taken us out of this problem. We no longer carry physical CDs to sell all over the place. We are on YouTube, iTunes, Amazon, Deezer, and the rest of it. So it is now easier to sell music on several platforms all over the world without even leaving your base, with the rigors of carrying boxes of vinyls, CDs, and so on. So our new generation of artists are continuously exploring and exploiting new avenues and new approaches. We have a new crop of artists from Africa and dominantly from Nigeria. And I want to point out here that even when we speak about entertainment in Africa or West Africa, Nigeria remains the hot boiling point of all of those. If you look at statistics, we are selling more records, we are selling more music and films than any other part of Africa today. And that's not an accident, because it's been coming over the years. So, we prominently from Nigeria, who have taken over the world with their music, reaching new audiences, creating and tapping into new opportunities by the day. With artists like Whiskey, Burna Boy, Davido, Tiwa Savage, Yemi Alade, Kiss Daniel, that's the Boogerman, and many others getting millions of streams consistently. And those streams come in millions. Even daily, you'll be amazed that a stream of 10, 15, 12 million in a day. And that never happened before. You can't even sell 1 million records in the days of, in the days of selling physical CDs and vinyls. So today, 15 million, 10 million streams are happening to single products, single songs of any artist. And that's significant. That shows the growth and the depth for which entertainment and music have gone over the years. And it's growing seriously, tremendously, and we can't have it. So I want to talk, because we cannot mention entertainment that can leave film behind. In the same period, the world acknowledged the Nigerian film industry, which started small when a number of ingenious creatives, through their talent and boldness, showed us what was in the offing via television programs such as Mirror in the Sun. I'm sure many people remember Mirror in the Sun with Lola Fanika, the Checkmate, and Blade Amaka Igwe. And the very first, I think, pioneer home video movie, Living in Bondage, which was a big hit, and I think they're bringing it back now onto full film. So you can see that even the film sector is growing in leaps and bounds. These productions were foundation of what we know today as Nollywood. We now have a vibrant film industry in Nigeria and other West African nations, and indeed the world are now tuned into us. As for music, the film sector is basking in the arrival of new technology, courtesy of Netflix, Showmax, Amazon Prime, and other platforms. Producers have options and opportunities to show our stories globally. Today, these two very important sectors of the West African entertainment industry have blossomed and become massively influential. Acceptance is getting better and wider. The two major sectors are attracting attention, investment, and productions are better placed to pull the funds needed to make big movies. More cinema houses are being built, while the culture of cinema attendance is rapidly improving. Creativity itself is getting better, and there is confidence all around. There is still a lack of an ideal entertainment industry sector structure. Rest of all, what I mean by this is that, like I said before, the industry is only struggling to rear itself to forge ahead on its own. We don't have policy frameworks for government, and I'm not saying government should come and do money to artists, producers, but there ought to be avenues of grants, avenues of, even when you want to develop culture, develop entertainment, develop, entrepreneurship, for us to achieve our economic goals via these sectors, we need to put funds, create an environment, an enabling environment, by the laws we make, by the enforcement that we make of the laws, and by the grants that we provide for them to fully, expand their businesses. So this lack of an ideal entertainment industry sector structure, such as body and authority which set standards, ethics and practice, welfare, insurance, government liaison and lobbying, training, grants, finance and investments, etc. These are aspects which the industry must work upon to attain stability. New developments such as artificial intelligence, the metaverse platform for a variety of genres of film and music, and the constant reinvention and development of existing platforms mean there is much to look forward and there's so much to learn as we look to the future. A new generation is emerging, which with a combination of youthful energy and enthusiasm and lessons from the past, will undoubtedly make Nigeria, Africa, and the black race proud. Though the stakes are getting higher due to the present economic challenges, judging from what we see presently, the level of commitment, amount of work being done, enthusiasm, belief, and confidence that is currently building in the industry the entertainment industry can look brighter. And I know that taking a cue from Nigeria, 2034 looks very, very promising and prosperous for the entertainment industry in West Africa. Thank you for this.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for the last presenter. I have been directed to inform that as sportsmen, we should stretch from now as sportsmen, it is recommended that we stretch every now and again. And so on that note, I have been directed to request that we take a few minutes and use that opportunity for a group photograph session outside. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that respite will not be coming our way because I understand we are live on satellite TV and therefore time is of the essence. As His Excellency takes his exit away, appreciate him with another round of applause, please. Thank you very much. I'd like to call on the fourth presenter and to request that you may take your paper from your seat, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. The fourth presenter is going to address us on securing a borderless West Africa, one visa, one currency for all in 2034. He is Dr. Willie Esilabo. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. First, my name is Ademola Adobusi. Dr. Willie Esilabo is honorarily absent and sends his regards to everyone. Permit me to stand on the protocols that have been well established for the expediency of time so that we can proceed to the real presentation. Although we have the title Securing the Border and understanding that whatever you try to do in this world of sports, we are in a regional and global economy. Nigeria cannot host the World Cup on its own accord. As you say, connectedness of thinking in terms of infrastructure, in terms of entertainment, in terms of human facility and human migration. I'm a doctoral student in border management and human migration. So a lot of the things I'll be talking about. I'm going to spend a few minutes on the background and then I'll talk about the huge migration and immigration issues that are likely to come in with hosting an event of this magnitude. First is the fact that if you notice that FIFA has done some things in the past 2 cycles of the World Cup, by showing that 2 nations are hosted the World Cup, meaning that we needed to move fans, players, from one part of the host community to another part of the host community. It's only in Qatar now, and we're seeing that one country is hosting. Even at that, it is a very huge endeavor. So one of the things I'm going to talk about is the capabilities we need to develop to be able to host the World Cup in 2024 in a very effective way. Now, the soft power of sports and entertainment is a crowd puller anywhere you go. And there is no better testament to this than when you notice that even with the World Cup holding in faraway Middle East, 3 Nigerian artists are going to participate are going to sing, are going to, entertain people during the World Cup. You saw the entire World Cup venue dancing to Buddha. I was asking myself, what's happening? It's a global village. Your local artist in Nigeria is an international star. And the beauty of soft power is that we need in Nigeria, and indeed West Africa, to look at the star power that we have. And that star power is in sports, is in entertainment, which is the music industry and the movie industry. Nigeria cannot host the World Cup in 2034 if we do not activate the star power that we can muster from sports and entertainment, that is the movie and music industry. I'm going to look at a few things that would influence a lot of the success, either of the bid or of the successful execution of the World Cup itself. Some of those things are the things that we cannot see around here, which is event management, planning, and execution. So, you cannot host a World Cup without looking at global realities, regional politics, and then national reality. The regional identity we're talking about now is what is happening within the economic community of West Africa, which is airports. We also have to look at the things that are happening in the Sahelian region of Africa, which we share a border with on the northern part of our nation. The border between Nigeria and Nigeria now is 1,400 kilometers. And that border happens to be situated in an area where we have concerns about insurgency, about terrorism, and security issues. So even when we're talking about West Africa now, we have to engage our brothers, our African brothers in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in Chad, in the Republic of Benin, to ensure that we can secure our borders and then secure everyone who is coming into Nigeria to be able to host a successful World Cup. Because we know that the number one concern of everyone who is coming to that World Cup is security. So border security is critical, and the national reality of Nigeria that we cannot shy away from is that we're a nation that's fighting insurgency, insecurity in our borders. So considerations for hosting the World Cup are usually complex, but you see, basically we're always talking about global acceptability, diplomatic efforts, how we can build a coalition of nations all over Africa to support the Nigerian need, just like the nation supported South Africa to be able to host a successful World Cup in 2010. Now, commercial viability is also part of the only leg of that. I've talked about regional stability and the national situation that we have. Now, sports is a spectacle, but the problem now is the challenge is that you cannot remove sports now from culture, music, and other forms of entertainment. In fact, the way stadia are being all over the world now is that it can be turned into a nightclub in the twinkle of an eye. And if you look at a lot of the stadia in Qatar right now, they can quickly dim the lights and Davido will take the stage and you will think that you're in a nightclub. And that means that you're going to attract a lot of people moving from one part of Africa to another to come and experience the world. How we prevent that? Just to give you a bit of figures, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics was watched by more than 3 billion people. 3.5 billion people tuned in to watch the 2018 World Cup. And in South Africa, total awareness of South Africa as a leisure destination increased by 9% following the 2010 World Cup. And the intention to visit South Africa in the short term increased by a significant 35%. Meaning that 35% more people wanted to go to South Africa because of the event that was hosted in South Africa. So it means it is an event that is going to generate a lot of traffic, not only in terms of immigration issues, but also migration issues. And I'll shed more light on that. If you ask a lot of people what they know about Brazil now, or what they do to see in Brazil every year, It's not even likely to be football. It will be what? The real carnival. And then they have found ways to actually synthesize culture, football, which is their number one sports, and then entertainment. To a point where they can tell you that the economy benefits at least 10% from trickle-down effect when people come to work. How many of us here know what a vuvuzela is? Vuvuzela. Did you know that before 2010? No. And the point is, we usually find out more about the culture of the people when we migrate. When you actually go there, there's the power of immersion. You sit with the people and you understand who they are. And you understand their culture because you have migrated to that. So you'll find out that soft power is becoming so interesting nowadays, where even people who are not part of sports or are not part of a particular sports are trying to insert themselves into a global narrative of that sport. Let me give an example. China is not in the World Cup, but to insert themselves into that narrative, they gifted Qatar 2 pandas. So people who are in Qatar now can go to an enclosed environment, control the environment, and see pandas. And every time you see the panda, you remember China. So they try as much as possible to steal part of the panda happening at the. So in Qatar, you also notice the nexus between culture and sports with the Japanese fans. All of us will look at Japanese fans and say, why are they cleaning the stadiums after themselves when there are people who are supposed to be cleaning the stadium? It is because it's part of the Japanese culture, and cleanliness is almost compulsory in Japanese culture. So they're projecting their nation using sports and using their culture. So let me focus on the critical task of hosting a cup like this, a World Cup, when it comes to border migration issues and then human migration. Behind the spectacle of the World Cup is an intricate, complex and precise web of planning, technology, event management, logistics, and crowd management to the code. It is actually a one-long intermodal logistics and telecommunications nightmare. Some of the nations that you see hosting the World Cup actually divert flights from some particular airports because they create a no-fly zone around the airport facilities. You're going to see traffic interruptions, you're going to see diversions. And I can say that one of the things that gladdens my heart is that listening to the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing and the Deputy Governor of Lagos State. Lagos is almost a plug-and-play venue when you talk about hosting things of this magnitude, because it is more than sports. You're going to need beaches for people to have parties, you're going to need nightclubs, and the kind of infrastructure that Lagos is putting in place now, when you see the spot of the red line that is going to the airports, tells you that we can do exactly what South Africa did in 2010 by building a brand new railway system that left the Gauteng railway system that left the airport, the Old Tambo Airport, and terminated at Pretoria. So you're going to see, for us to be able to do this, we have to collaborate with agencies across our border. If you go to the Standard border now, you see a joint border facility built by the EU for the Nigerian and the Benin border management guidelines, where we can see people move seamlessly. I'm glad to hear that that's already happening at the import border as well, because people are going to move not only by air, but they're going to move by every means available. I don't know if you remember that when Nigeria was staying in the Republic about a year ago, the Nigerian team and the team left Nigeria on a boat and arrived in the Republic. And that was just a bilateral match. You're going to see a lot of that happen if we're hosting the World Cup. How do we control, how do we do passport control? What kind of admissibility requirements do we want? How do we know that this one is a fan and not a terrorist? How do we externalize our borders and collaborate with other agencies in Nigeria, in Niger, in Benin Republic, because it is a global affair. somebody's going to take up. I've seen people walk to the World Cup and say, well, the World Cup is happening in December, but I'm going to leave my country in July, and I'm going to walk from my country to the destination of the World Cup. How do you issue that kind of visa? Does Nigeria have a visa classification that can be just for the duration of the World Cup? So these are the things we need to look at as we look at not only the infrastructure capabilities, but also the back end things like hospitality management. How will I be able to bring a passport from Indonesia, from China, and say, I want to lodge in an hotel in Nigeria, and I won't feel harassed in any way. How do I come to Nigeria from the Republic, from Cote d'Ivoire, and know that aside the ECOWAS protocol of free movement of people, goods and services, there is a provision for me to be able to enjoy the World Cup. So there is a bit of creative intentionality that's required here, and then connectedness of thinking. We must not focus only on the people who. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the point is that we must create now, as we're sitting there and thinking about this, it's very important. We must think about the logic of securing our borders, the logic of accessibility, the logic of human migration from the point of view of mass migration now. When you see 30,000 people want to watch the Republic come and play China at Sunday, how do you manage that? And how do you ensure that not only can they enjoy themselves, but they can also achieve the security of lands and property? Just to give you a bit of numbers, Nigerian music industry did $44 million as at last year, 2021. But the movie industry counts that with 6.4 billion. Now, what events are we going to organize to ensure that everybody from all over the world can look forward to not only the football, but also the entertainment part of it? The reason is because your country is going to be knocked out. It's either you win or you learn at the World Cup. What happens when you lose at the semi-final, at the quarter-final? Then you can retire to the last circuit, you can go to landmark, Israel, Calabar, you can go anywhere. So all of this has to be orchestrated. So the issue for us now in terms of detailing immigration management, visa management, border friendliness, security and safety, how do we ensure that at all our borders, the border guardians are well trained, they are courteous, they have the appropriate technology to be able to say, oh God, sorry, this is Nigeria, you're carrying cocaine and you have to be sent back. And then we have to be able to negotiate with a lot of other players in the international industry. Let me end with this. The Office of Serious Crime in the United Kingdom actually manages football, some aspects of football. They have a database of football clubs that will never be allowed to leave the United Kingdom if the United Kingdom is playing the match anyway. So you present your passport at a point of departure, and the guy swipes it and says, oh, I'm sorry, you are a dog. Is that simple? Nigeria must get to that point at all our airports, at all our border points, where we can not only network with agencies that have that kind of intelligence, but then provide the enabling technology for us to be able to say, this is Nigeria. We welcome everybody who's come to enjoy themselves in the World Cup. They go to people who are terrorists and thugs, or people who are going to add value to the global spectacle that the World Cup is. On that note, I want to say thank you for your time.
We say thank you very much for that. Round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Doctor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to invite the mathematical himself, Bishop. For the generation before mine that don't know about the mathematical, I am sure you will be thinking about mathematical equations and statistics. But no, beyond that, we are referring to a man that was the king of the soccer pitch. He testified to the podium Ambassador Olusegun Odegbami, Associate Trainer of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs.
I came without a script to listen to what people have to say about the vision that we have. And I'm glad I did. Because all I will do now really is to thank everybody for coming and to tell a little story. Because this journey has been long in coming. After the 2002 World Cup in Japan, Korea, which was a new idea at the time for more than one country to host the biggest and most lucrative single event in the world, there was a lot of criticism about more than one country hosting the World Cup at the time. To such an extent that when everybody was leaving Japan, Korea, the idea for more than one country to host the World Cup had been dispensed with. Nobody was going to talk about it. And suddenly, I am sitting in front of Mr. Sepp Blatter in his office in Zurich with the Minister of Sports from Nigeria and the gentleman who is sitting here today who is a witness. The only other witness apart from Walter Gard, the head of the technical department of FIFA, is here. Oiga, Okegbero, please stand up, let them see you. Evidence. 4 of us sat in Mr. Blatter's office. And Mr. Blatter says, what brings you gentlemen from Nigeria to Zurich? And the minister said, sure, tell him. This was the minister asking me to tell Mr. Blatter what we had been sent by the federal government of Nigeria to tell him. I knew where it was going because it was such a bad idea. He could not deliver the message himself. So I had to do the talking. And I told Mr. Blatter about us coming from Nigeria. He knows the story of West Africa. He knows the story of Africa. We're not doing well as Africans. There's a World Cup coming up in 2010. And we have an idea. He says, yes, what's the idea? He said, well, in our history, we had founding political fathers who had a dream for Africa. An Africa that was not developed, an Africa that was enslaved. This dream is that we could wake up in the morning in Lagos and drive to Dakar, drive to Lomé, drive to Ghana, and spend the weekend. We could enter the train from Douala and it would take us to Monrovia. We could travel across the whole West Africa without being afraid of anybody harassing us. We wanted a region where you have one visa, you could travel to all the countries in West Africa without bothering to get the second one. I said, we wanted to be like you in Europe. I looked at his face and I saw he had started to listen. I said, look, we have a dream. We've had it for 40 years that in our region we will have one currency. We will have one airline. We will have this, we will have that. I just went on and on and on. And at the end of the day, I knew the question he wanted to ask me is that, look, do you know where you are? This is FIFA. This is FIFA. The only business we do here is football. And since you started your long sermon, you have not even mentioned the word football once. By the time you all were coming here, we were talking of 2034. And if you listen to all the speeches that have been given, nobody has really spoken about football. Mr. Platter, the least thing we want to discuss with you here is not football. That's the least thing we want to discuss with you, football. We want to discuss with you the development of our region, the development of our people, the advancement of our people, our release from enslavement, from colonialism, to develop all our tourism potentials, to do this, to do that. But you're in the wrong place. You're in FIFA. This is football. I say, well, that's why we're here. We want you to gift us the FIFA World Cup of 2010. Because football has the power to deliver all of those things that we have listed. The man said, this is the most brilliant, the most imaginative idea I've heard about the World Cup. People are saying that don't do joint hosting, but I have come to say let 5 countries in West Africa. They need it for their own development. They need it for regional integration. They need it to be a model for the rest of the country, that things can work. They need it because when it comes to the time when we are going to discuss at the table of civilization, where we are now, that we foresaw in 2002, we want to go there as one voice, with a common purpose, and people who have earned a place on that table of conversation. We cannot go there by economic development alone. We cannot go there by, how do we go there? We can go there with the tools that we have. Politically, we have been down for 5 centuries. Economically, as a people, we have been down for that long. Mentally, we are not even prepared to wait here and be equals with you on that table. But what we have is what Toby and Mushon has demonstrated for us. What Bonner Boy is demonstrating for us. What J.J. Okocha has shown the world we are capable of doing. What we are doing in technology, in the arts, in science, and so on and so forth. Those are the tools that we have. We want you to give us the FIFA 2010 World Cup to support us for that region to host it. Mr. Platter got up and he said, look, if your government can make that proposal, I, said Platter, will back it because this is a good project. That was in 2002. We came back to Nigeria and the sports media descended on us as if the world was going to end. That was a 7-year project. 2002, the World Cup was going to be in 2010. And they shut it down so badly that the man who sent us there, who set up a committee to initiate the project, who let it run for 10 months, where we consulted with the government of the 5 countries on the West Coast, 5 countries, from Cameroon to Togo to Benin. To Ghana, presidents were celebrating. The Ghana president, Dr. Gilma was the president of Ghana. This was something that was embraced in West Mexico, are coming together to do what we said, oh, that's a bad idea. In 2030, all the bids for the 2030 World Cup are regional. 5 countries in South America, 5 countries in Asia. Even Europe hosted the European Cup with 11 countries. Since then, 11 countries hosted the European Cup of Nations. So it is not rocket science. We pioneered the idea 20 years ago. 20 years on, it is time for us to sit and look at that instrument which Nelson Mandela said has the power to change the world. For us to look at it differently and add to it that assembly that is what this all black people in the world have been looking for it for too long. For us to come together. If we don't come together, We are doomed as black people. We have to come together. We have not succeeded since 1977. Now we have an opportunity to come together. That's why we are teaming up. First time, that's culture with sport. First time we bring together all black people of to the ceremony. Every year, the funding mechanism will be different. It won't be one city as we did in 77, hosting 58 countries. Now there are 78 countries. We won't give that burden to one country. We'll give that burden, we'll spread that burden along the west coast of Africa. We'll revive all those slave camps and slave sites and tourist destinations that will bring in all our brothers on a regular basis every year to come for the celebration and feast of culture, art, and entertainment. And we'll have to give a little bit of sports. But where are we going? We are going to the best World Cup the world has ever seen. The most economic World Cup the world has ever seen. The World Cup that will truly bring the black man together after 10 years of conversations, 10 years of celebration, of festivals and feasts and friendship with the rest of the world. Not with guns and struggles and protests, but with games and dance and music and art and literature and poetry. And we tell them, and they will hear that we black people can sit with you on that table of civilization and be diners, not waiters anymore. That is the dream I want to share with you. That is the essence of what we are doing. This is just the third in the conversation. We are having a fourth conversation. That fourth conversation will articulate, will document, will put together all the niceties and complexities that will help us or that we'll have to get rid of to make it possible for us to build, to host, to develop, and to show the world our new capacities in this new world order coming. Thank you very much.
Mathematica himself. Thank you very much, Ambassador. I had said before that this country owes you and your generation a wealth of gratitude. We shall eternally be grateful for your service to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and, as we are saying increasingly, to Africa. God bless you and keep you, sir, Your Excellency. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when we say that great ideas are incubated in this hall, some people think we are just marketing the institute. But you can see that here in this institute, the dream of Africa was enlightened here and sent abroad. That which we know as the economic community of West African states today, you can see a broader encapsulation of that idea in the arena of sports. Here in the Institute, no idea is too big to be dreamed and conceived. Africa has come of age. You remember? You remember that speech? Africa has come of age. It cannot be disassociated from this hall that you are sitting in today. And we know that Africa's dream to host, West Africa's dream to host the World Cup will follow no less a pattern. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Excellencies here present, we have had different facets of this dream. But it's a message that needs to be sent abroad. We will begin with the near abroad, and then we will go to the far abroad. If you think what I'm saying sounds ridiculous, please just take it. This is the NIA. Here we create ideas and concepts. And I am going to invite the ambassadors that have been charged by their respective countries to deliver messages abroad. Since charity begins at home, I am going to begin with one of our own. His Excellency Ambassador Segun Akinsanya is one of the leaders of the Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has served in various capacities, especially at the apex body of the African Union. I am sure he will have a word or two to share with us on this lofty trip that Ambassador Odegbami has shared with us. Your Excellency, this invitation, however, is coming with a caveat. You will not have more than 2 to 3 minutes, so I will be calling on your power of summary to deliver your thoughts with us, to us. Thank you, Your Excellency.
I'm sure you that I'll be very brief. The Deputy Governor of the Lagos State, Deputy Governor, the DG, Your Excellencies, the distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A lot has been said, and I was fortunate to be part of the last 2 conversations on this brilliant idea, brilliant vision from the man of the moment, Ambassador Segun Odegbami. I don't want to make it a Segun affair, but I must commend the role of the Institute in championing this vision. And I must also commend the initiator, all the eminent speakers, and what we have had this afternoon. At the time that the UN is talking about Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals, and at the time that the African Union is also looking at Agenda 2030, I think Agenda 2034 is another date, and I believe that a lot of efforts need to be geared towards that. Coming from the foreign policy establishment, I was ambassador to the African Union and also served as ambassador in other places. I know that soft power is a key element of foreign policy. And I believe that as time goes on, some of these brilliant ideas that we have had this afternoon will be mainstreamed into the foreign policy perspectives of the country. But my input at this very important meeting will be taking what our distinguished deputy governor said. How do we do from there? The responsibility has not been given to the NIA, but I believe that also at the same time, there are very good experiences that this institute is involved in, that the Institute of Culture, in which the protocols, the processes are processed. And I believe that we should go along that route. In fact, we should come to a time that Agenda 2034 will be in the mouth of the foreign policy agents in this country, and also for our foreign missions. And I think it is something that is doable. Codifying these protocols and processes, mainstreaming it into the foreign policy perspectives, and asking our missions to be part of it. I can assure you, not only because my namesake is the initiator and the driver, that the Association of Retired Career Ambassadors, of which I'm the chairman, is committed to providing this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. May I call on His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Usra Araha. Your Excellency, you may wish to come to the podium. Okay, you want to pray from there? Fine, Your Excellency. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you, Honorable Mr. Professor Egusa Ekosagay, the General Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, and the Deputy Governor for inviting me to join this serve in the conversation sense. Considering the importance to further strengthen the close relation and cooperation between Indonesia and Nigeria, especially in developing youth exchange and sport programs, we have to remind the agreed minutes of the inaugural session of the Joint Commission for Bilateral Cooperation between the Republic of Indonesia and Federal Republic of Nigeria, signed on 25th July 2013 in Jakarta. So we have already the final draft MOU and youth cooperation between the Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Republic of Indonesia and the Federal Ministry of Youth Development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The aim of cooperation is to promoting the cooperation in the development of youth on the basis of reciprocity, mutual understanding, and benefit of two countries. The scope of cooperation is first, exchange of visits by government officials and or relevant experts in order to achieve best practice on youth development program. Second, extension of invitations to conference of seminar and youth issues held in each country. Third, encouraging cooperation in the awareness, protection, and control of destructive influence among youth. Fourth, youth development in leadership, entrepreneurship, and mentoring. Fifth, exchange of information of youth matter on the pandemic situation and to change the nomenclature. The Ministry of Youth Development to Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development of Nigeria. The MOU is still pending to be signed. In my opinion, we cannot deny that youth and sport is a tool of soft power, and we can share best practice. I believe, and this is based so many programs we can create. For example, Indonesia already done e-Formula, MotoGP, and international junior badminton, world tour, and the total price US dollar 1,250,000. So the program plan, of course, for soccer game and badminton exchange is very important, because we know that Nigeria has many good soccer coaches or players, and Indonesia is good in badminton. I think reciprocal action can be done for the next. So I am still welcoming and encouraging the delegation from Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport, Development Nigeria to Indonesia, to have final touch on this MOU. Indonesia is also playing an important role in the ASEAN region and improve the soft power to create stabilization in the region. I heard before some speaker mentioned about the entertainment. It's also very important. Minister of Tourism and Economic of Creative of Indonesia also mentioned about the film and will have idea to cooperate with Nollywood. Nollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood is very, very popular. So we're proud of that. And also the sing-a-song. Yeah, it's very popular. I heard that Nigerian singer is very good. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. We have invited Minister Economic Development of Nigeria as well, but unfortunately not able to come because we need to discuss about the tourism. And today, more than 20% from Kano in Indonesia, we call it Garut City, they business buying, and they also make create cooperation for business between Nigeria and Indonesia. So several months ago, I'm an ambassador, Indonesian ambassador for Nigeria, very proud because I'm the biggest number able to bring the Nigerian businessmen to Indonesia around the world. Almost 80 businessmen came to Indonesia and they make the business transaction. So the Minister of Trade give award to us as well. Yeah. This very make me proud as ambassador here, a success to make the cooperation Nigeria and Indonesia running properly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. Before you leave, Your Excellency, I am sure the DG, after consulting with his brother, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, they will look for a Nigerian chieftaincy title for you. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, sir, I'm sure you heard His Excellency the Ambassador talk about the fact that they are one of the most powerful countries in the ASEAN region, and also the fact that he is extending an invitation to the delegation of the youth and sports development community, and I'm sure His Excellency Ambassador Debani will take that up at a subsequent time. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for him. We are running out of time, but we cannot let the curtain drop without taking at least 2 more comments. But I am going to plead with their excellencies not to go beyond 2 + X minutes, where X is not greater than 1. Since we have mathematical here, I might as well be speaking the mathematical language. At this point, I'd like to call on the Honorary Consul General for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Rotimi Bong. I know I am ambushing you, but the fact that I'm giving you just 2 minutes should make your body lighter, I hope. 2 minutes, Your Excellency, to share your thoughts with us on the prospects that West Africa has for 2034. Thank you, Your Excellency.
I'm also be very brief, and although I'm being taken unaware, there's one major contribution I would like to make, and this is proposition. And I've said to myself that development, unity, friendship, cooperation, economic development, youth development, self-empowerment, all these positive aspects, they're amazing. And I'm just going to round up by saying that in my capacity as the Honorary Consul to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you all know Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to culture and entertainment, it's very strong on the ground. And currently they have the special department in Trinidad and Tobago, they call them using cultural arts, using arts and entertainment as a means of developing and providing jobs, etc. And it's called the TT music, the TT fashion, and the TT film. And very soon, for the entertainment, people in the entertainment industry, at the end of this year, you're going to see a release of a film between presenting that has been put together between Nollywood and Trinidad and Tobago. It's a big thing. So the testing ground I want to propose, and I will propose when I talk to the stakeholders I mentioned, is let's have something like, I coined it here, and I said West African Caribbean Sports and Culture Festival. It's something we can actually put together to test the grounds. And from my end, it is doable, right? And I think if we sit down and plan it well, we can do it. So the West African Caribbean, the entire Caribbean country, let's have the sports and cultural entertainment festival. And what will happen, we'll see a demonstration of how this TT steel band and the African drums, right, can contribute greatly in our sports. Why do I say that? Supporters Club is what? What they play? Drums. Right? So, in the Caribbean end, we use the steel band. It's just a concept we can really build and have that testing ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I am beginning to be afraid that Trinidad and Tobago is about to steal one of our own. It's okay. We'll be vigilant here in the NI. Thank you, Your Excellency. Another round of applause for him, please. Representative of the ambassador of the Republic of Benin. But before you take your place, Your Excellency, I hope you know with the Republic of Benin, a lot of research and field work has gone on between our institute and your country. And I say this because I'm sure you know, but not many people in this hall will know. So, His Excellency, the ambassador of the Republic of Benin, is here represented by Ambassador Thomas Ajami Adeyanju. Please, you have the floor, but I will plead with you for 2 + X minutes, where X is not greater than one side. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, all of us. There's no time to read all the people, I'll just go straight. I'm Ambassador Ajami Adeyanju, your country brother, and my place, you can go to Nigerian school and Benin school. Some of my brothers went to Nigerian school, 2 of them live and died in Lagos here. One time was in the French side. So when I'm speaking now, you can hear 2 voices. Voice of my origin and voice of my nationality. You go to Adeyanju is Adeyanju, Ajami is Ajami. So thank for all of us to be here. I'm very happy that I have the word to say here. Because sometimes we see both far away, while those things are still around as well. And geographically and historically, Nigeria, Benin are completely apart. There's no choice. That's a fact. But what we in the Republic are doing to be ready for the community is that we are trying to build our strength. For the day we are going to come together, because if each of us we are not strong, there's no way we can make a big, strong community. A good team is the player in front is playing good, the leader is playing good, the goalkeeper is good, but if all components are not good, there's not good. And next time I would like the protocol to give us more than 2 minutes because we can tell you from outside what we think. If you give more time to your people, who are my people, you are going to listen to yourself. But if you give us a way to tell you, you are going to die. So what we are doing in the Republic is that 82 years of government give 23 states of international standard. The one in my country, I forget, first one of Oluwa. And we are now going for another 20 states of international we are working for urban mobility that you can drive and circulate freely in our countries because the place of security. And we are building international style hospitals because when you want those people to make sure when they sick, you treat them. So we are doing this now that you don't need to export your sick people to overseas. That we are doing that. We are also tackling security issue. With better security, there's no development. So we commit each building in school. If you have a stranger coming today, you regard that a new person in my area. This is the place of security. If you are leaving your place for another region, you tell, I'm leaving this city, I'm going to another place. For us to know who is who in our country. What we are doing as well, and we work with France to return artifacts. Our president was the champion for that one. And for that, we don't compromise. We try to treat, we want to work with France because polarization is finished. Now we have to stand on it. We can no longer be bending and have dignity. That one we let revisit. And we commit our citizens where they are to be issued the ambassador of the Republic. Because if the conduct you are displaying is showing where you are coming from. And all our governing body, CEO, ambassadors, financial, you have a vision for our country. If you bend the rules and find yourself in a bad place, you go straight to the jail. There's no compromise. Because the only way to make black people work is to punish. If you don't punish, nobody will obey. So to finish, if you want to organize the World Cup in the 20 years, you have to work. And convince people that we are ready. If you only wait for declarations and not wait for it. The last point is that Nigeria is a big country. Whether you like it or don't like it, Nigeria is a big country. And have a big role to play. Sometimes we are waiting for somebody. You know what God will make you great, you have to great. And how to do that?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And let me tell you right away that we shall give you a platform on which you will have all the time you need in one of our ambassadorial forums. I will, on behalf of the DG and the Institute, extend that invitation to you before you leave, so you will have that platform to exfoliate your ideas with us. Your Excellencies here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as the curtain gently drops on this episode of the conversation, I note that it has fallen on me also to deliver the vote of thanks. And I am being signaled that even that I do not have much time. So I shall take only a recognition of a very few of our distinguished participants, but to request respectfully that all the others please appreciate that the NIA deeply welcomes you and is grateful for your presence. His Excellency, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo GCFR, we appreciate you for all your support for this program, and we also know that but for the technical reasons we have encountered, you would have addressed us on this day. Alhaji Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, CFR, is eminent Sultan of Sokoto. Daddy Pastor Adeboye, General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God worldwide. His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Baba Jide Sanwo-Olu, we appreciate you, and of course, he is ably represented here today by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, who has stayed very patiently with us Today we know, Your Excellency, that you shall make a full representation of all that you have witnessed here today to the State Executive Council. We will be coming to knock on your doors very shortly, Your Excellency. Very assured that the kind of patience you have exhibited here today will be available to us when we come. We know too that you will be the vanguard in this dream for Nigeria, West Africa, I beg your pardon. I must quickly recognize all the presenters here, those that have uplifted our dreams by the stories that they told us, by the challenges that they have encountered across the West African political economy. I must appreciate all the ambassadors here, the retired ambassadors here. I must appreciate the former director generals here. I appreciate also all our distinguished guests. Most importantly, I cannot leave out the gentlemen and ladies of the press, without whom we would have been like people who are waking in the night. We will know what we are doing, but certainly the world may not know. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Then, we must thank the Director General of this institute. He continues to fire our dreams, encouraging us to dream big because, according to Chief Odebani, dreams are realizable. DG, thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is on this note that I like to say, with the kind permission of the Director General of this institute, that the curtain has now gently dropped on this episode of the conversation. And therefore, I will ask you, please, to be upstanding for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There will be a group photograph outside.